Your character will start with some provisions to get you going on your adventure into the wasteland, but the basics will only get you so far. Weapons, ammunition, armor, mods, food, drinks, chems, utility items. These are all things you want, but how do you get them? Greetings, Vault Dwellers, and welcome to the Wasteland. This is your Overseer speaking, Three-Eyed Townie, and today we're going to be talking about buying, selling, haggling, and bartering in Fallout the Role-Playing Game by Modiphius. This video is a continuation of a Learn to Play series that I'm putting together for the game. This video is part 1 of equipment, and in previous videos we've covered a lot of basics of the system itself, so if you haven't checked those out yet, you might want to take a look. Outside of scavenging and being rewarded for completing a quest, getting equipment is typically done through buying, bartering, and haggling. Naturally, if you're going to buy anything, you're going to need some kind of currency. In the world of Fallout, the most common form of legal tender is bottle caps. In the core rulebook, you'll find that all items are assigned a value in caps. Now there are other currencies, either newly created or relics from before the Great War, but they're not as universally recognized. Pre-war currency is commonly found, but it's considered more of a collector's item at this point. You may encounter characters willing to exchange these banknotes for caps, or perhaps a vending machine that's still functioning has a bill acceptor and you could use them there. Gold has retained its traditional value, but it's not as commonly accepted as caps. You may find characters in settlements or other fixed locations that are willing to accept gold as tender, but it's less likely that you'll find a traveling merchant willing to accept it, and that's due to its heavy weight. New money originates from the new California Republic as an attempt to replace caps as the standard. While this currency is primarily region-specific, you may find characters that are willing to do business with it. Lastly, we have scrip. Scrip is an internal currency designed to be used within a community or organization. The Brotherhood of Steel is a good example of this, but you could certainly create your own faction to adopt this concept. The idea with scrip is, since it only has real value within that organization, an individual within that community is less likely to leave because they don't have any money that works anywhere else. No matter the currency, it only has value if someone is willing to accept it. And in the Wasteland, everything has a price. You just gotta figure out what that is. As you can imagine, some goods are easier to come by than others. Each item is assigned a rarity, typically ranging from 0 to 5, and that determines how common or uncommon that item may be to come across. Your game master may ask you to roll to determine what's available at a particular merchant or a vendor. You'll then roll a number of combat die equal to your luck attribute. The number of effects you roll determines the max level of rarity of the items available for purchase. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that every single item of that rarity and lower is going to be available at that merchant. This just acts as a benchmark for how rare an item could be that could possibly be for purchase at this location. When selling items, a vendor or a merchant only has a finite number of caps, which can limit how much they can actually purchase from you. As a standard, anything you sell starts at a rate of 25% of the item's listed value, rounded down. Now, if you don't like this rate, you're welcome to haggle. Whether you're buying or selling, you can always negotiate the price using a charisma plus barter test. If you succeed, that's 10% more in your favor. So if you're buying, that's 10% off the price, and if you're selling, that's 10% more in your pocket. If you succeed on the test, you also have the option to spend 2 action points to make the transaction even more in your favor by 20%. But if you fail, the opposing character can spend 2 action points to make the transaction 10% less in your favor. Just remember that no matter the outcome, you always have the right to refuse the transaction. It is possible to roll a complication when haggling, which could result in the merchant becoming suspicious of you and maybe not want to do business. All transactions get rounded down, so if the final transaction comes out to 10.25 caps, it would just be 10 caps. If you have the Cap Collector perk, you would apply that bonus after the skill test for the haggle is resolved. There may come a time when you don't have enough caps to buy an item, or the merchant doesn't have enough caps to buy from you. In situations like these, you can trade items to come to an agreement. When trading, total up the value of all the items that you're buying and all the items that you're selling. Subtract the lower value from the higher, and that will leave you with a final number. Once the barter is calculated, you're then free to haggle the remaining price. The mechanics for buying, selling, haggling, and bartering offer up a lot of options for making transactions. Having the ability to negotiate prices and even trade goods gives the players more agency and, as a result, more fun. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you found this breakdown helpful. As you probably already know, this video is a continuation of a Learn to Play series, and we have so much more to cover. If you don't want to miss when the next video is coming out, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. You can find me and the rest of the Fallout 2D20 unofficial fan community everywhere on the internet. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and we have a very active Discord community as well, and I'll leave links for all that in the description. And if you haven't already ordered Fallout the role-playing game by Modiphius, you can do so directly from their online shop, and I'll leave a link for that in the description too. Thanks again for watching, please like and subscribe, and of course, I'll see you in the wasteland.